Wow. Lynn Rose, known as the voice of transformation, is an international speaker, singer, and TV host, having spoken or performed for hundreds of thousands of people around the world. And she sang with people like Mariah Carey and Sheryl Crow. You've been with Jay Leno, others, and multiple appearances on TV and film. She now works with billion-dollar CEOs, professionals, and companies with her WOW process for speaking fearlessly, authentically, and powerfully, called the WOW Factor, helping transform their speaking and presenting for even greater success. And now she dedicates herself to helping these experts and business people explode their businesses with huge results. Let's give a big hand to Lynn Rose. We're so glad.
Thank you.
Wow, you're absolutely a talented person, no doubt about it. And you get in front of people like this and you sing songs with that incredible ability like you have there, and you speak and you teach. Your life hasn't always been this way. And at one point you were crippled, really, by fear. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, well, first of all, it's such a joy to be here. And I'll share some more about that coming up. But and it's a joy to be able to share whatever gifts.
Yeah.
But we all have our stories, right? And I had a period where I got shut down utterly by fear and negative thoughts and doubts. And it came from a past where I had been abducted by my father. He was an alcoholic father, away from my mom for 2 years. Finally got reunited with her. And he then started getting his act together, and I loved my dad. You know, even with whatever mistakes, I loved my dad. But he was an irresponsible father. And then at 11, when he was flying from one base to another, he crashed his plane and was killed. And at that point...
He was in the military.
He was in the military.
Yeah, sure.
Flew for the Marines. And he wrote poetry, and he wrote articles for...
How old was he, and how old were you?
Gosh, I was 11.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how old he was. Yeah. I guess he was 32, 33. And I remember at that point, I couldn't even cry. I didn't want to believe it. I numbed out and hid who I was way in the background.
Yep.
And just let I had talent, so the talent carried me. But then as an adult, you know, I was doing TV and film and Broadway. But as an adult, maybe it looked nice on the outer picture, but behind the scenes, I was doing cocaine. I was suffering from bulimia for 2.5 years. Suddenly, the show got canceled, and for whatever reason, everything came together, and it shut me down. So it took 2 years to find my way back.
Did it feel like when you lost all those other things, did it feel like it was kind of related to like the loss of your dad? And like I find that a lot of times the loss that I experience, like, you know, I lose my car keys, somehow it's connected to some greater loss. I mean, it's,
yes.
is that kind of how it felt for you? So it kind of drums up all the stuff you'd been burying
Absolutely.
deep down.
Because we go along and 2x4s come along and knock us down, we get back up, another
Right.
2x4, get back up. And then sometimes we go, well, why should I even try to get back up, you know?
And you probably didn't know when you lost all of it, in the midst of it, that it was really connected to all that stuff, right? All that stuff from your past.
I mean, I was dealing with those negative voices, but I was still somehow letting my talent carry me, and then finally the negative voices took over.
Yeah.
And then it's like, who am I? And everything you could imagine. But I thankfully stuck through that, you know, and found my way through it. I cocooned. I allowed myself to be with the feelings, to face what was going on. I certainly was on my knees, praying to God. I really had a whole new relationship to God from that moment forward.
And how did you get out of this? You have 2 years where you're just totally stuck.
Yeah.
And you kind of looked into the abyss.
Yes.
And then you got out.
Yeah.
And then what happened? How did that happen?
Well, it was being willing to take the littlest step, that next baby step, and that next baby step, even when I'd come up against failure. So, I mean, I would still put myself in an audition and be horrible and be painful, because you know you've got so much in there. But then eventually and reached out for help. I reached out for help, and I prayed, and I prayed, and I got internal, and I connected to God. But I found my way through it, eventually after 2 years. And the beautiful piece of it is, now I found my way through it to where I could perform, I could connect, I could speak, where I surrender. And I let God just come through me, because if I try to control it, it's not gonna work. If I try to control it, my fear is gonna come in and clamp down, or I'm gonna get in my head. So now it's a passion of mine to be able to work with people, to be able to let their gifts be shared with the world, and whatever it needs to break through so you're not stopped. I have to share with you, this is why I'm so excited to be here with you. First of all, I think you're extraordinary, so I'm very grateful to be here with you. Yes. And your
grandfather.
I was like, father, was a pivotal point for me in moving from the world of entertainment.
Well, wait, did he have brown hair or white hair?
He had white hair.
Yeah, that's my grandfather.
Okay. It was a pivotal point for me in moving from the entertainment industry. I still am in the entertainment industry, but taking on now being a transformational leader myself. Can I share that story?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I loved personal growth as a kid. I mean, I turned to it to help me get through, and of course, spirituality, everything for me. And I remember I loved this radio station in 1998 called Your Personal Achievement Radio Station Network. And I would hear these different transformational speakers, and one was Robert Schuller, and he and Zig Ziglar were my favorite. And then I suddenly heard this voice of God, "You're gonna have your own show on that station." I went, huh? What? I'm a singer or TV host, or I don't know. But I went about figuring it out. I just followed that voice and ended up walking in cold to that station. And I ended up getting a show on that station. It ended up becoming one of the top shows on that station. And then I got picked up by the nationally syndicated network.
Wow.
Yes, and it led now to being in this field and working with Mark Victor Hansen and all these different people, and being out there and now being able to serve others and be able to be the wind beneath their wings, like Robert Schuller has been the wind beneath our wings, and you are. And
oh, that's awesome. What a great story. Wow. So I'm sure you have a tremendous insight from all of this. And what are you learning through this whole process then? I mean,
Well, I see this with the people I work with. When you have a divinely called with a gift or a message, or maybe this idea, and you want to make it manifest, you want to get it out there in the world, but you come up against, I don't know how, or who am I, or it's too hard, or what if I get rejected, or all those things that come up for us, of which, believe me, I had, and sometimes still have, right? But it's so important that we do whatever it takes, even if it's taking that next littlest step, to be able to step up and share whatever divine gifts that you are called here to do. It's our duty, because that impact, you have no idea what impact you're making. Because imagine if Robert Schuller, when he created what is now in these decades has grown and everyone come together, what's created, and the ripple effect. What if he had said, oh, who am I? It's too hard. I don't know what to do. What if I get rejected? Oh, that's too many times of getting rejected, whatever. But thank goodness, can you imagine the emptiness if he hadn't stepped into that? So I just feel it's our duty to, and with the people we get to work with within the Launch You Now, and see them becoming #1 best-selling authors, 6 or 7-figure businesses, when they were a seed of an idea. I mean, it's so exciting, and we have to work through what we come up against, so your divinely guided gifts can be shared.
It's such a great story. And Lynn really is, I mean, you hear her sing, but she really is such a phenomenal teacher, coach, leader, and she's been so great. She wanted to give everybody a gift, and you can get that gift by going to lynnrose.com/HOP. So that'll be on the TV program. You'll see it at the bottom. But what do we get?
What that is?
Yeah, tell us what do we get if we go there?
So I wanted to share the song you just heard, A Hero's Heart. So you'll get that song downloaded. Also, there's a Speak Formula video series. It's these little 5 keys and how you speak powerfully, authentically, and with freedom, whether that's relationships, clients, whatever that is, and it'll give you even freedom just in your everyday life. And also an opportunity for a one-on-one consultation call if that's a fit for you.
Yeah, great. Well, and you have a book coming out, and of course, your CD is available online and in the back. Lynn, there's millions of people listening around the world now, and of course, everybody here in church, you've obviously learned a lot in your experience. What would be the one thing you would say if you could say something to everyone?
Wow, I love that, the one thing. Can I have 10 things? No, I'm kidding. So the one thing I would say is a great quote. Is it George Eliot? And she said, it's a she, it's never too late to become who you might have been. It's never too late to become who you're meant to be. So whatever that takes, step into that.
Lynn, thank you. You're going to sing for us again, and
Yeah.
let's give her a hand. Thank you again, Lynn
Oh,
Rose.
thank you.
God bless you.